Hey friends, welcome back to the channel, man. As always, I'm stoked to see you. So this is something that I have to tell myself a lot, especially lately. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on, but and it's certainly something that I try to pass on and impart on those who work for me, because I think it's really important. I think it's one area that when we falter in it, is probably the leading area that brings anxiety in on our lives. And if you're dealing with anxiety, just know A, that you're not alone. And B, hopefully you're in a place and time where it's kind of ebbing and flowing, and this can maybe kind of sink in a little bit. Right? Because I'm telling you, man, based off of my experience, I think what I'm about to share with you is true and real. And so leave some comments down below about what your thoughts are. Hopefully I can learn how to talk this morning. So, what I tell myself, right? What I tell my dudes is this, right? And my guys, that I'm really talking to. Of course, I'm talking to every echelon. But where it really sinks in is at the buck sergeant level, if you will, is that first line NCO, right? Who has maybe upwards of 5, 6 people at the most in their charge. And I just need them to take care of them and their team. Like just do that, right? And if your peers are doing the same thing, everything's going to work out fine. But what happens a lot of times is we start getting caught up in concerned about maybe what direction the platoon or even the company or the battalion. So I'm looking up and I'm getting concerned with what I see is going on from my perception, from my foxhole down here. I'm concerned about what's happening up here, right? Because if they would just change, then my life would be easier. If they would just do this or want this completed in this way, if they would just give me the latitude to do it that way, then everything would be fine. Now, what happens when we do this, right, is as I start to lose focus on what is in my control, and I start to lose that extreme ownership that I need, right? That anxiety is building up because I'm focused and I'm looking at things that are outside of my control. Man, you cannot change your organization directly. So quit worrying about it so much, right? Quit looking at it and being like, you bunch of knuckleheads, man. If you would just do this, I would be happy. Hey, here's key point number 1. I mean, this is a pro tip. No matter what they did, either you're going to be happy or you're not going to be happy. That's just the bottom line up front. And it's a hard reality to sink in. But your happiness does not come from the people that you work for or the people that you work with. And all that is just an excuse. It's just an excuse for our unhappiness. But what we don't realize is that excuse brings out more anxiety in our lives because we're too busy focused on things that are outside of our control. So what is in our control? Man, you are in your control. You can do right by you, even if you've got nobody else who's in your charge. You can do right by you. You can live with integrity, honesty. You can take pride in your work. You can ride for the brand. Nobody can take that away from you. You can do right by those who are directly in your charge. You can tell them what to do each and every single day. You can live and work by example. You can teach, you can coach, you can mentor, you can develop, you can train, and do things the right way because it's the right thing to do, no matter what is going on to your left, to your right, or up above you. I don't care if they said that we get an extra half hour. You know what? Today, we're taking the right amount of time because we have a job that needs to be done and it hasn't been done yet. We're going to lay out this equipment. We're going to inspect this. We're going to do this the right way. Having that kind of extreme ownership because you know it needs to be done, and so you do it. It's not the easiest road to take. In fact, most people don't take it. They want the shortcut. They want to go home. They want to get away from the work, away from the people that they work with and the people that they work for. But those who demonstrate some extreme ownership, and when you do that, yeah, you know what? And the reason that we don't like doing it is because we kind of come off as a hard ass, right? As somebody who has standards. And people at first don't like that. But eventually they do. And what's ironic is for those who are overly concerned about the things that are outside of their control, that if they just demonstrated some extreme ownership over themselves and that which is in their charge, the top eventually changes. The answer to the problem that we think that we have is that I just need some extreme ownership in how I lead myself and my team. So ironic. And this doesn't just apply to the business life, to the corporate world, into the military world, whatever. It applies to everything, right? Like, just like, if you get married, let's say you're getting ready to marry somebody, and that significant other has some baggage that they're bringing to the table. That never happens, does it? But we tell ourselves that, I can fix it. I can fix it. I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix that. Oh, that problem over there? Oh, I can fix that. Oh, that problem over there? Man, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to fix that. I'm in the fixing business. Yo, man, in 10 years, they're still going to have the baggage. If you try to focus on things in the wrong way, if you try to attack it directly, man, a lot of times, because it's outside of your control, it's not going to change. But if you set a good example, if you yourself are faithful and loyal, if you're open and honest in your communication, over time, you may see that some of that stuff goes away. It doesn't work out all the time, but 60% it works all the time. You know where that came from. Let me know down in the comments below. Hey, let me know what you think about this, man. Again, this is something that I struggle with, right? After all of these years walking the earth, this is still something that I struggle with. Being overly concerned about things that are outside of my control. The only difference is now I can start to feel it, maybe even a little physically, right? Some hypertension and whatnots. And so I do what I can to step back, take a break. I'm way more intentional in my breaks, even during like my lunch hours and stuff, of pushing back away from the table, going to get some fresh air, being more intentional in my thoughts about what's important, about what brings me happiness and joy, and then focusing and recentering on what I can control. And that first thing that I control is myself. It's not an easy path, and you're not going to somehow arrive, right? Constantly moving forward in this. So let me know what you think, friends, and we'll keep this conversation rolling. If you think that somebody else may need to hear this message and be invited into the conversation, then consider sharing it with however you do you, and we'll keep growing this conversation so we can master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. Appreciate all you guys, man. You stay out there and you stay stoked.